When life begins to feel too heavy, it often happens quietly. One task adds to another, one worry follows the next, and soon, even simple things feel difficult to carry. It is not only about what we do, but how the weight of everything begins to live inside us. Our shoulders tighten, our breathing becomes shallow, and we forget that we are not the same as our problems. Many people try to fight this feeling of overwhelm. They tell themselves to be stronger, to work harder, to push through. But when we do that, we are only adding more stones to the pile we already carry. The harder we fight, the heavier it seems to grow. Balance is not found by forcing things into place. It is found by remembering what does not need to be carried. Imagine standing in the middle of a busy street. Cars, noise, movement, everything rushing around you. The world will not slow down for you, but even there, you can choose to step to the side, to stand still for a moment. Balance begins there, not when the world is calm, but when you choose calm inside yourself. Sometimes we forget that we have this choice. We think peace belongs to another time or another person, yet it is already present, quietly waiting beneath the noise. When life feels too heavy, the first step is simply to notice, not to fix, not to escape, just to notice. In that noticing, something soft begins to return. You may still feel the same pressures around you, but the heart starts to breathe again. And in that breath, life becomes a little lighter, even before anything changes. When the storm of life rises, our minds often become the sky that holds every cloud. Thoughts move quickly, too quickly, and emotions grow loud. We try to understand everything at once, hoping that clarity will come from thinking harder. Yet clarity rarely comes from struggle. It comes when the wind begins to rest. Overwhelm is not only about too much to do, it is also about too much inside. Memories, expectations, fears and plans. Each one pulls in a different direction. We reach for control, but the more we reach, the more scattered we feel. Balance is not about holding on to everything. It is about seeing the storm as it is, without letting it define who we are. When you look at a stormy sky, you do not have to fight the rain or chase the clouds away. You simply watch. You know it will pass. The same is true for the storms within. Feelings rise and fall, thoughts appear and fade. They are not permanent. They are not you. The awareness that watches them, that quiet seeing, is where steadiness lives. Sometimes it helps to remind yourself that even the strongest wind cannot blow forever. Every wave must return to still water. In moments of confusion or exhaustion, pause for just a breath. Feel your feet on the ground, the air around you, the body that carries you. The world keeps moving, but you do not have to be lost in its motion. When you begin to see through the storm instead of fighting it, something inside loosens. You realize you do not have to wait for everything to be perfect, to feel whole. You are already standing in the middle of life, and that is enough. There is a quiet space within each of us that never disappears. It is not something we create through effort, nor something we lose when life becomes difficult. It is simply there, often unnoticed, like the still water beneath moving waves. When the surface of life grows wild, this quiet space remains untouched. Many people look for peace in the world around them. They wait for the right time, the right place, the right situation. But peace that depends on conditions will always fade when those conditions change. True balance begins when we realize that calm is already part of our nature. It does not need to be built. It only needs to be remembered. Sometimes when you are tired or restless, you can sense that quiet presence just behind everything. It is gentle but steady. It does not argue or explain. It simply allows life to be as it is. You might notice it when you stop for a moment between thoughts, or when you listen deeply without planning what to say next. That small pause, so ordinary and easy to miss, is a doorway back to yourself. You do not need to make silence happen. You only need to stop adding noise. The more you chase stillness, the farther it seems to run. But when you stop chasing, it appears on its own, like the calm that returns to a pond after you stop throwing stones. In that quiet space, there is no need to prove or protect anything. You are not the roles you play, nor the problems you face. You are the awareness in which everything comes and goes. To touch that truth, even for a breath, is to find balance again. To live from stillness does not mean withdrawing from life. It means meeting life without being pulled apart by it. Each day brings noise, opinions, and demands. The phone rings, messages arrive, and the world keeps asking for our attention. But deep within, there remains a space that does not move with the crowd. Living from stillness is choosing to act from that space, even as everything continues around you. When we act from tension, even small things feel heavy. When we act from stillness, even big things can be handled with ease. The same action, a word, a decision, a step, feels different when it comes from calm rather than from pressure. The world outside may not notice the change, but your heart does. It beats softer. It listens more deeply. Stillness does not make us distant or cold. It allows us to respond instead of react. When someone speaks harshly, we do not need to return the same energy. When plans fall apart, we can adjust without losing our ground. This steadiness is quiet but powerful. It grows each time we remember that peace is not something to find later, but something to live from now. Living this way is not about perfection. Some days will feel centered, others will not. But even when balance feels far away, stillness is never gone. It waits beneath every breath, every sound, every moment of uncertainty. To live from stillness is to walk through the noise of the world while carrying silence in your heart. It is a simple way of being, but it changes everything. Life does not have to be easier to be lighter. It becomes lighter when we remember where our true home is. Gratitude is the natural language of a peaceful heart. When we begin to see how much of life arrives as a gift, the air we breathe, the people who care for us, the chance to begin again each morning, something softens inside. Balance grows not only from calm, but also from appreciation. Even in the middle of difficulty, there are small moments that quietly shine. To notice them is to see life as it truly is, imperfect, but deeply generous. When we pause to give thanks, the sense of overwhelm starts to fade. Gratitude does not erase our problems, but it changes how we meet them. It reminds us that we are not alone, that life continues to hold us even when we forget. In every breath, there is support. In every ending, there is space for renewal. As I share these reflections, I feel thankful for each of you who spend your time listening. Your presence gives these words meaning. To those who have offered kindness through likes, comments, and messages, thank you. Your support reaches further than you may realize. And to those who have shared through super thanks or joined as members, please know that your generosity allows this space to continue quietly growing. I am deeply grateful. The path toward balance is not a straight line. Some days you will walk with ease, other days with effort. But each step, taken with awareness, brings you closer to the stillness already within you. May that stillness guide you through the noise of the world, and may gratitude light your way, again and again, in this moment and the next.